There it is. I just had to push the right
Howdy,
button.
everyone.
What's everybody up to in the chat? I was over at Pontiac Power Hour, of course. I've never missed one. I even got me
Yep.
building Blanche's engine listening to Pontiac Power Hour. That's how long I've been doing it. And that was back in August, September. So, yeah. Actually,
Right on.
I
I
just
don't
got
know
the
if I'm
pistons
freezing or
for.
if you're freezing.
What's that?
I said, I don't know if I'm the one that's freezing up or if you're the one freezing up.
I I have no idea. I shouldn't be. I don't think I ever have froze up. Unless I'm on my phone, then I freeze up all the damn time. I just got all the pistons for my 304, got them put on the rods, picked them up today. So the only thing left stock on that are the heads, crank, and rods. Everything else new.
Oh, right on.
That's saying we was on Pontiac Power Hour. I said I could have built a 360 AMC cheaper than this 304, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for the fact that it's the original engine of the car, why the hell would I put a 304 in a muscle car? You know, but it's just a cruiser. It's our everyday driver, so it don't
Well,
need. It's be a little more hopped up than it was.
well,
It's gonna have a cam and everything in it. So
I'm looking forward to you getting it done. It's going to be a kind of just a cool, different engine to have in there.
I think it will. It's a. I went with a Comp Cams 260. So it's a. I don't have a cam card with me because I always throw the thing and lose them. But it's an even intake and exhaust lift. So it's just a smooth torque cam is all it is. I could have went bigger, but then you got to, oh God, to do anything like to even put the aluminum Edelbrock heads on that thing, you have to shave. You have where was it? You have to get valve relief on your cylinder. Like you have to shave the very top. They some kind of machining. I'd never done it, but it's like nah. I'm just gonna. I'm just making a runner. It's got to be faster than it was. Oh my God. That, what a pooch. Of course, they had four broken frames.
Well, yeah, Artemis almost took it out on the racetrack, right?
5/10 of a second faster than Artemis. That's pathetic. I
Yeah.
get the displacement. There's no replacement for displacement, but come on, 12,000 pound vehicle just about whooped your butt. You're supposed to be people look at it and they go, man, that thing just looks fast. Well, that's about it. I'm pretty sure my Craftsman lawnmower
I
can
wonder
take
what
it.
would happen. I wonder what would happen in the quarter mile. Which one would win?
Oh, I tell you what. Now, when I was hitting eighth of a mile in that ambulance, it was just getting its power band going. But in an eighth,
Well, that's
I
what I
would
was
need
thinking. Yeah.
shoots on that thing to get it to slow down. I would have to have shoot. I'd have to have
Yeah.
because there ain't no way them drum brakes are stopping that monster. Why's he got shoots behind
No.
that car? It don't even sound fast. And just wait, just watch. Just get the test ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent the last couple of days, yesterday, and tore my truck completely down and on the rear end, and then I went ahead and I took Blanche today, and I videoed it all. Hey, Buff,
Hello. I
I
heard
took.
somebody was freezing and I'm cold, so here
I'm
I
just
am.
fine. I got a
Well,
infrared under me and a propane one going over here. But no, I took Blanche to Terre Haute. It's about a 73-mile trip with with the rear gear of my semi in it, took it over to the salvage yard, swapped them out, and drove it all the way back home. The only problem I have with it is right now with that FMX, I put her in park, and if I let it idle, she'll start puking transmission fluid out the front. If I have it drive, reverse, park,
really?
it's fine. But as soon as I put her in park, she'll start puking.
And that's a pump thing, right? I missed that part. Yeah.
It's in the pump.
That's what I
Imagine
thought.
shut off in there, something's blocked, or who knows? I did it, so it's probably completely wrong.
It's like, why is the tail shaft hooked to the flywheel? Like, how did you do that?
I should have, if I would have been right. I got a perfectly good C6 out here. I should have just had a bill, stuck it in that car. But
I'll be right back, guys.
man,
Danny Boyd says clogged vent.
it's very possible. I thought about that, and I got the original one that I, because I'm such an idiot. No, I shouldn't say that. I'm so smart at FMX transmissions that it was the transmission fault that I completely ruined it.
Right.
But it's very possible. I need to look at it again. I don't know anything about them.
I remember I'm pretty sure it was a TH350 that I had in my first car, and I knew almost nothing about cars, but I drove it around after it sat in a field for quite a while, and I remember putting it into park, and just all this smoke came out of the engine compartment. So I lifted the hood, and exactly that. It was just pouring trans fluid out the dipstick.
Yep.
And I went, I don't know what's wrong. And all I remember as a kid is we swapped it out for another transmission, and that was it. I don't remember what we did beyond that.
Well, that's the first thing I thought of when I seen it. I was like, what the hell? Because it ain't leaking while it's, hey, there's Eric.
Yep.
It don't leak while you're driving. There's nothing underneath the car. It's perfectly fine. Runs great, drives great, shifts great. But as soon as you stop, like gas station or something, put her in park. Because I don't know, I'm an idiot. So I leave the car running while I walk in and get me a Monster, a pack of cigarettes, whatever. And I come back out and I was like, this thing's bleeding. Oh my God. So I went and bought some Transex and stuff and threw it all in there. I thought, that'll save. But as soon as I put it in park, it just start puking. So I'm thinking,
leave it in neutral.
Once you shut that down, I think that pump keeps going. Then if it's not, it probably is the vent. But I don't know. Of course, my fix for a vent is airline. Just blow whatever's in it right back in the transmission.
It'll end up in the pan eventually.
That's what the filter's for.
I mean, you can't argue the logic. It's there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Honestly, that FMX compared to everything else I've handled in the last 3 months as far as transmissions, that thing's a stout son of a gun. I mean, it's heavy as all hell. It's cast iron.
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's any better. I'm back. Kids were using up the internet.
Oh no.
Gotta have that shut down. I've got a ridiculous internet system here because all of our TVs are off of it. The kids are gamers. So, and then I do this, and it does get to a point though, when I'm trying to upload something in 4K, I'll look at everybody. All right, you got phones, put them on your friggin' 4G, 5G. Yep. If you're playing games, shut it off. I'm tired of sitting here staring at that little line.
I don't like paying $100 a month for internet, and that may be a lot. It may not, but when I had to wait 12 hours for a 1080p video to load, I was like, this ain't going to work. And so I upgraded, paid the extra money for the $100 internet, and we can have TVs going, all that kind of stuff, and it loads 4K like it's nothing.
I don't have that option, so it still takes me 12, 14 hours to upload a 20-minute video.
Here's the funny thing is I looked at a house last year to buy, and it was at the beginning of the year, and we were at the point we were about to make an offer, and I started calling all the companies for the utilities, the power, water, trying to find out what it would cost to even operate this house, because it's twice the size. It had a 40 by 60 shop. Like, it's everything I wanted. And what hung me up on this house was I couldn't get internet. The only thing that was offered, because there was no cell service, like I couldn't even get one of those hubs to work at the house. And the only thing that was available was satellite. And I went, nope. So I did not buy the house because I couldn't have internet. It just wasn't going to happen.
Well, satellite's not bad if you're okay with latency, but if you're a gamer or something, you don't want the latency, then you can't use it.
Yeah. When I'm trying to do upload, download, that it wasn't going to work. And I'm fine going and buying a phone and using it as a hub, but there was no cell service from any company in that 5-mile radius of that house.
Yeah, when I first moved out here, I had to use an air card and get a special router that I could plug the air card into.
Wow.
And it wasn't very fast. So it's better now, but it's not great.
Yep.
I've got, what is it?
Later, Sand.
Freaking, what the hell is it?
You got fiber?
No, it's cable. It's like
okay.
Good cable.
I have cable as well. They got fiber a block over from me on either side, and I have just the metal cable.
The only fiber I get is in my Raisin brand. So
I don't even do that.
That works too.
I just feed the ends off with my cigarette butts. That's my fiber. Totally good for you.
Yeah.
Hey, it's totally good for you. I've seen the promos from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s.
9 out of 10 doctors recommend.
But
sure they do.
You know what? Cigarettes aren't that bad for you until they start putting the filters on them. It's the filters that have all the carcinogens in them.
I'll go back to Camel filter. I'll go back to Lucky Strikes or something like regular Lucky Strikes.
Well, Eric dated a girl named Fiber.
Well, he's from the Rockford area, so I could believe that.
Good times.
I'm pretty sure this is the reason I survived all the COVID stuff. That and brake clean.
Brake clean is helpful.
Just going to take hold.
Yeah, I'm immune.
So when this all came out and COVID started ramping up, at that point I was drinking alcohol still, and I read that high concentration alcohol kills COVID. So I just made sure my alcohol system didn't have too much blood in it.
Right.
Just keep it topped off. Yep. Just keep it topped off. It was fine.
Yeah, and it prevents heart attack too, right? It feels better.
I quit drinking. I had a heart attack. I'm just saying.
Oh, really? There you go.
I did. I had a heart attack last year, and I quit drinking the year before.
Oh, goodness.
That's what the problem was right there. Oh, yeah. I'm otherwise healthy. I had too many stressors and 105 heat index, and trying to dig a car out of a tree row in the middle of the heat, and being stupid.
Yeah.
Almost died for that car.
I understand the stressors and heat and stuff like that, so I can see how it could happen. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I know all about that $1,000 Uber ride home Tuesday night.
That wasn't even the tow, right? That was
that
just
was the tow.
Oh, that was the tow. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say
1,030.
Wow.
And then when I started calling around to shops, I'm sitting on the interstate. Okay. Sitting along the interstate. That happened at 10:45 in the morning. I left there on the wrecker at 4:30. I was there all day, all friggin' day. So I had all kinds of time to, call the shops, and I'm calling every shop that I would normally go to, and they're telling me, oh, it'll be Saturday before we can even get it in the shop to look at it before we can start. Probably Wednesday by the time we got this. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, okay, so what I could do is I could drop it off at a shop and then rent the truck from the company I pull for whatever a week and pull until it's done. Well, then I'm losing. I added it all up. I was like, I might as well fix it my damn self, because it was going to be like $3,500, and that's if they didn't find anything else wrong with it, because they're shops.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how they
We
work.
can't let this go because it's got this one little valve
So-
that needs something.
I called right away. I knew what I had. I called Kenworth, and it's got the original rear ends in it. And I called Kenworth and I said, what do I have? And they told me what I had. Eaton RS 404 with 390 gears. Yeah. She's a 5 mile a gallon. It's bad. But I called this Russ Fisher's that I've used for years over there, and they said $550 exchange. I said, okay. So I called around to get a new one. $1,800 was the cheapest one. And that's without all the labor. So then it was going to be like $3,000 or $3,500 plus the tow. So you're talking $4,500. Right now, after the $1,000, me doing it myself, I'm into this thing $700.
Wow.
And it's sitting out there. All I got to do is put the U-joint and axle seals, because most people use RTV, but I'm going to put the actual seals on them.
Yeah.
And they'll be $5 a piece. I'm just going to RTV them like I always do, stick them together, be done. The part that's going to kill me, 75.90 synthetic.
Yeah.
$61 a gallon.
Wow.
That's the cheapest. But the part about the truck driving part of it, okay, is every day that them wheels don't spin in the 5-day work week is $1,500. So since Monday, you take 1,500 times 4, that's what I lost.
Yeah.
And I don't get all that. I'm no millionaire. That all goes back to the truck. I don't make any more than the next guy, but it's just like a one damn thing after another, and I just like whatever. They're like, you want us to rent you a truck? I said, no. Because I would have been the $1,500 a day plus the $500 a week or $600 a week to rent the truck. Plus, I was just like, no, because it's just going to sit at a shop. And because I'm not there to go, no, you're not doing that. No,
right.
There's nothing wrong with that. No, you're not touching that. They would have just started throwing crap on it and said, here's your bill.
Right.
That's how truck shops work. I used
$10,000 later, you're going, what just happened?
I came in one time at this place and they said, well, your belts were worn. So we went and changed all your belts. Your thermostat wasn't heating up. So we changed the thermostat, and I'm looking at him going, that's 5 minutes. What are you doing? And they just throw everything they can on it. I said, take it all off right now. But where's all my shit? Put it back. And they get mad. So then today, I don't know if you saw that little short I put out yesterday. I called around. One of the shops I've spent over $25,000 in the last year. Okay? $25,000 in maintenance and, things that I can't do around here. I called them up. I said, hey, I got the truck in the driveway. I need what's called a tiger tool. It's a tool basically that you use to push out the caps on those big U-joints that are in them. I used to have one, but it got stolen. They're like $300, $250 to $300. And he's like, no, we're not borrowing you that. I was like, what? I said, you've always let me use little things before. Yeah, but we're not borrowing you that. Why didn't you bring it in here? Well, you told me it was $3,000 to fix this truck. I can do it myself. Well, then I guess you need to find a tool yourself. And I got that from every shop. That's where I got the Outlaw Garage thing. Me and my dad were the Outlaw Garage because shops would try to, and nothing against shops. You got to make your money and all that stuff. But people that come in that didn't have the means but needed the car, they didn't have the money that needed the car, somebody would get a hold of them from a parts store. They'd get a hold of my dad or me or whatever. We do it for an apple pie and a case of Budweiser. And oh, these shops, you're just going to take it to that outlaw garage, those damn Irish, because Dad was known as little Irish guy, So that's where Irish Outlaw Garage comes from. But finally, I call and I text a buddy of mine that works at a really big shop here in town. His name's Speedy. I said, Speedy, I need a Tiger tool. He goes, what the hell did you break now? And he calls me and he's, giving me a load of crap. Just known each other for 25 years, I said, I need a Tiger tool. And he goes, yep, got one sitting right here on my desk. Come get it.
Nice.
So listen to this. I walk into this shop, and this is one of the service managers that told me no. I walk right past him into the shop, walk right over to Speedy's toolbox. He hands me a brand new Tiger tool. It's brand new. It's never been used. And the socket to fit it. He goes, you'll need this socket. It fits it the best. And I start walking by, and this service manager's looking at me with this scowl on his face, and I just went, as I walked past, I said, all you had to do, he went on a whole spiel to me on the phone. I was like, well, you just lost a customer. You'll be that way about it. I get it. They got to make their money. They can't go loaning tools out. But I literally had this thing for 30 minutes. I come home, snapped the U-joint out, drove it straight back, dropped it off, had it cleaned, looks like it'd never been used. And Speedy wasn't even there. I just walked right through the shop and set it on his toolbox. And I just, I don't know. I get why, because I had people comment, say, well, buy your own damn tool. They don't have to. I said, no, you think about that. You spend, I'm regular Joe. I'm not freaking, whoever, Schneider, nothing like that. I'm just trying to make it by. Guy spent $20,000 or so odd dollars in your shop. Hey, can I borrow this tool real quick? If it was my shop, yeah, I'm going to borrow you that tool.
Yeah.
But this guy, they just want to.
And those that say you should go buy it. So I did that, and I bought some pretty obscure tools that you use once, maybe twice in a lifetime. Or somebody says, hey, you got this rare ass tool, and that just happens to be the one I bought. But a lot of times you can get away with not doing it. But like in your case, you're going to use it once or twice, if that.
Well, it's a big thing. It's not like you're stealing work from the shop and doing it for other people.
Right.
You're just trying to fix your own machine, right? But
you've already spent the money there. You've already contributed to their bottom line.
Well, here's the thing. My U-joint and axle seals and pinion seal were right there on the desk waiting for me. I was buying $100 worth of crap right there on his desk. And I basically, basically he could see it in my face. Just go ahead and put it back on the shelf. I'm going somewhere else. Yeah. Normally if it's a U-joint, stuff like that, I don't want to work on my work.
No,
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Plus, it's
it
tax
totally
write-off crap. I go to the shop, that's an instant tax write-off. So if I have to pay an extra $100, $200, I'll do that. But this, we're talking thousands.
Yep.
I'd love to put up my own shop up here, like not only for my cars, but to put my truck in so I can work on my truck. But right now, I just can't.
Right.
But sooner or later, that'd be great. But
yeah. Now, speaking of working on trucks, I did watch that pole barn episode.
Yeah.
And you guys had me a little nervous a couple times putting that thing in, man.
We both were.
My favorite line.
It didn't show it on the video.
I got Chevy in my eye. I just love
that. We had it. The video don't do it justice on that little Harbor Freight jack stand.
Oh man!
So
trans stand.
I have to echo that.
That thing was leaning like this, and that Harbor Freight strap was strapped across it and holding it to that. I have no idea how it survived. I told him we needed to have like a ceremony and bury that strap in the back.
I gotta echo that. If you think that what you see out of Dalton is sketchy. Being there is 100 times more sketchy, because on the video it looks like he's thought it through and kind of rehearsed it. He just goes and wings it, and the next thing you know, there's fire or body parts or whatever. you just don't know with Dalton, because he's that good, but he's that scary. Like, he's willing to do whatever it takes to get it together.
That I the thing is we got done, and he got done editing that video, and I was talking to him. I said, and I seen it on his, the membership part. Yeah. And I said, oh my God. I texted him. I said, people are going to ask us to do this again. And I said, because it is so funny. I never sit and watch my videos and laugh at myself, but the banter between the two of us was back and forth. Like, I kept saying, I'm going to throw something. Yep. No.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Don't throw something.
Yeah.
But that part with the transmission, we were both at a loss. That was both of us like, okay, this is going to work. It's going to work. I think it's going to work. And he'd go, nope, it ain't going to, nope. And then, the thing, of course, my head's right there.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, please, strap, just hang on.
Yes, please. He wanted me to crawl under there. When we did the road runner, he wanted me to crawl under there at one point. And I'm like, I'll just stay up top here and work on stuff up here. I just didn't trust that I could go into that car and come back out alive.
Well, after we had struggled for an hour, we decided the grand idea to jack the truck up off the ground.
Yeah.
So,
you can sit up underneath and still be,
So
the floor's not there, so you're in the cab, but you're not in the cab.
Well, if you took the seat out, you could just put it in from up top.
He didn't put it on. He didn't video it, but he jacked it up, and we put the jack stands underneath. He put one in, I put one in. He went around to the front, started jacking it up, and we're just bullshitting back and forth, not really paying attention, and he's jacking it up. He doesn't look in the back. I didn't look in the back. I mean, equally sketch, right? We're both just over here. Nobody's paying attention. He gets the front end up. He sets it down. And then we're getting ready to crawl underneath it, and I turned my hand. I went, whoa, hold on. The rear stand like that. It was up on two wheels. I was like, we need to change that. But he didn't catch it on video. But there's a lot of stuff he had to cut out for timing,
Right.
But there's a spot where I'm trying to get bolts out for the cross member. I'm trying to get to it, and I got his half-inch drive ratchet, air whatever hammer, and I'm trying to get it down in there, and there's a bunch of that rusty floor, that little bit what's left, and I took the wrench and I went whack, bent the thing back. I said, fits now? And he's like, why are you trying to rip out my floor? And I said, because it was in my way.
It was in the way.
And I did. I slapped it with his gun. He didn't put it in there. I think he forgot. There was so much. He had at least 8 hours of nothing but that. So he just picked the best stuff.
And that's what he taught me, is like, you can have, like you said, 8 hours worth of stuff, and you could break it up. But if you can pick out the best stuff to keep everything flowing, but for him be absolutely ridiculously funny at the same time, you got a hit for sure.
Well, you look at how quick he talks too. Like, when you're watching his video, he's constantly talking, there's something constantly happening. There's no dead air. Like, he's just go, and that's the way he edits it. But that's part of the appeal, because there's something constantly happening. And to bring it back to about the sketchiness, I think that the Holy Goat is the perfect embodiment of that, man. Because it truly is.
It shouldn't be on the road.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be on the road. And yet it's absolutely beautiful.
And it really is. It's awesome. It's just awesome. But
it is
scary.
Sketchy. Oh,
I got to make another trip over there, by the way, for Holy Goat. So,
what day?
I don't know yet. I got to figure out. Well, this thing out here is pretty much taking all my gas money. So
right. Yeah.
But
Well,
I'm not
when you
sure when I
do,
want
you
to do it.
know, get a
That
hold of me.
transmission, that was something else too. When you guys were taking that apart, like,
Yeah,
oh
it's
boy.
done. It's done.
Yeah.
Waiting on me to go. I'll probably go grab it tomorrow.
And that's the thing, is it was non-rebuildable.
Yeah, it's junk.
And when he starts pulling it apart, I was like, oh, it isn't that bad at all. Like that
Well,
Roadrunner transmission was far worse than that Holy Goat transmission.
well, again, my crappy GoPros didn't really pick it up, but the whole rear drum assembly with and everything with the out shaft, the outer shaft, it was bad.
Toast, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was junk. But he had all the stuff there. He had everything. He even had the pump. So he had one pump, and it was the right pump.
So I'm going to just address the comment, Danny Boyd. Here's my take on the Holy Goat. It's not a true disrespect of car. He took a piece of garbage and put it back on the road. And to a lesser extent, that's what I thought I had. My 63 Grand Prix, to me, and to the guy that had it, it was going to the scrapyard to be crushed. And I think it's a beautiful car that I put back on the road. It is not going to be restored. It's not ever going to be pristine as long as I own it. But it was otherwise garbage that's now on the road. And so I look at the Goat. It should have never, ever went back onto a paved surface in its lifetime.
I'll guarantee
and he drives it everywhere.
Yeah,
that car is safer than most out there.
It's safer than my 63 right now, because the 63 is.
Well, I read the comment too, and I gotta say it's right, and I think it's wrong. And the reason I say that is whoever did that to the car, that's a total disrespect of cars.
Right. Exactly.
Dalton bringing it back, even in that bad a shape, shows the complete respect he has for that car. And to put that back on the road, even though everyone else would have just crushed it, I think that's just amazing.
Not to stick up for the Mopar family that shot this thing up, but you got to remember the times. They thought it was just a Le Mans.
They thought it was just a crap car.
Some random Le Mans that was wrecked or dead. So, okay, we got this junk car. Let's shoot at it. I'm sure it's not the only car they shot at. I'm sure they had some dusters or some other crap. But it's the fact that he bought it as okay, I'll put $200 on it.
And then just got it.
$200 has him 67,000 subscribers.
Yep.
And he has minimal money in that car.
And he has enjoyed that car a lot.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Everybody else enjoys it more than him, I think.
Everyone that sees that car, I mean, having driven behind him to No Name Nationals, I got to tell you, people would come to my car. It's on the trailer. It's laid out on the trailer. It looks cool, right? And then Dalton would roll up in the Goat, and bam, everybody's gone. They're going to see that car. And I'm like, come on, I worked hard on it. Ask me about my car. Nope, they're gone looking at this bullet hole riddled car. And I get it. It's fascinating car.
Even in my own videos, when I seen it in person, I have to get footage of it. You just you have to. You know
that whole time I only took 2 pictures, and that was in our hotel parking lot.
Yeah, I remember.
The only time
you're parked right beside him.
Yeah, he was down a little further from me, but he was so busy doing everything else. Of course, I knew he was going to Ford Fest. So I was like, okay, I'm going to let him go, because people were crowding the car and crowding him. It's like, I've been talking to this guy for years. It seems like that's the way it feels like when you talk to him. You feel like you've known him for years.
Yep.
And when I first started talking to him, he had 10,000 subscribers, I think. And that was about a year ago.
Yeah.
Yep. So, that car helped him take off for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no doubt. He's got some cool stuff. Like the Corvette's cool. I'm looking forward to what he does with the truck. Like, that's going to be awesome.
His old blue square body is a nice truck too.
It's a nice truck.
Other than the fact that it has a drivetrain in it, is worse than anything I've ever touched. It is bad. The
Yeah.
ambulance don't even hold a candle to that thing. Walk-in freaking floorboards. I mean, there is nothing there but the brace.
But
But
you
that's
saw
really all you need.
But he bought every panel for that truck at LMC.
Yeah, he did.
Because
He bought
LMC is
everything.
like right over here from me right now. Like I could go over to LMC truck right now. It's just
I'm
right
looking
there.
forward. I'm looking forward to that truck going together. That's
I'm
gonna be
probably
great.
going to be
I'm
making a
looking
trip
forward-
over there.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to your truck going together too, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the motor should be out this weekend from that guy. I got a 402 big block.
Oh,
And,
do you?
my transmission's done. My transmission's done. Tony got it done too. All of them are done. Mine's done. The Holy Goats is done, and the Ludwig snagging wagon or whatever.
Oh yeah.
The
So
van.
I want to go.
Van.
Yeah, I want to go help with that 454 because that's going to be a cluster to get that thing shoved in there. But man,
Yeah.
it's going to be fun.
Right
I
through
wish
the
I could-
door.
I really wish
It's
I
gonna
could
be
spend
a
more time
blast.
down there.
I
Oh,
put
yeah.
a big block in a Sunbeam bread van. You go right through the door, right through the side of the door, and drop her down. I told him he has to take the door off.
He sent me those photos of that van a couple days before he announced it, and I'm like, "That's 4-wheel drive. That's a such and such year." And he was saying something about, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's round headlight. It's at least this year van." I said, "You can't pass that up. It's 4-wheel drive. It's a shorty 4-wheel drive, but you got to have it."
Yeah.
And he snagged it right up. That thing is awesome. It's a complete pile, but it's awesome. You put that 454 in there, and it's going to be sweet.
So there seems to be a theme going on down south as well. Everyone's buying up the Eagles. What's with that?
Oh, they've blown up.
And that's the thing is,
2
years ago you could pick those things up for a couple $100, and
Yeah.
so they were everywhere, and people just garbage car sitting in their yard, nothing. But they're really cool little cars. They're reliable. They're easy to get to run, and now the prices have just shot up.
Well, it's
There's
crazy to me.
a black and red SX4 in a town just east of me, and it's got the roof rack for like all your snowboarding crap and it's got all that crap. This thing it's just like Dalton's, but it's like mint condition.
Yep.
$22,000.
His is just mint flavored.
Mint flavored with a weird clanky clack 4.0 in it.
Yeah.
Well, my buddy had one when we were teenagers, and we would head out to the mountains, go skiing and snowboarding, and take that thing. But the problem was there's something wrong with the rear axle. If you went at a certain speed, then the axle would walk out.
Oh.
So we just had to keep it. It kept us from speeding, which was a good thing. But I don't think that thing would speed too fast, anyways. But
That would be there's a lock plate on your axle on them AMC 20s that if that thing wears out, that bearing will just let that axle roll.
But I
Because
tried to remember.
they're bolt-in axles.
Yeah, they were, and I can't remember if his was a Hornet or an Eagle though. That's the thing I can't remember. But I know we had one of those. He had
Eagle
one of
would be
those.
4-wheel drive.
Yeah,
There's a Hornet or a Spirit, Concorde. I don't remember what the other one is.
it might have been a Hornet. It might not have been an Eagle, but it was. They're interesting cars. Like they are definitely a product of the 80s, no doubt. In the early 80s at that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like who thinks to go, hey, I'm going to take this 4-door station wagon and I'm going to make it 4-wheel drive because, I'm just going to do it.
But now there's something that's interesting is everyone drives around up here in SUVs and trucks.
Right.
And when we were kids, the wagon was the SUV. And
Subaru's everywhere in Alaska.
I don't understand why we don't go back to you can have an all-wheel drive wagon. Yeah, I don't understand why we don't go back to the wagons, instead of the big monster.
The only thing I can think of are the trucks getting out of some kind of EPA rules that
they were
trucks?
They were
And
at one point.
if they're not now, then why haven't we transitioned back to wagons?
Well, that's what
they're
I'm asking.
far superior cars.
Agreed. Like I had a Dodge Magnum. I love that thing.
How many people have a truck that have never put anything in the back or towed anything? You know, and it's like, what's the point of having a truck?
Well, that's it exactly. When I use my truck, I use my truck. I hook a trailer to it. I go get a project car.
That's why I got my 3/4 ton Suburban, and I'm trying to get rid of the Avalanche because it keeps crapping out.
I used a truck today.
Yeah.
I even say that in the new video that I'll have one of these here soon, probably, is like, we're going to use our truck as a truck. And I did.
Yeah. Okay, so as much as you guys made me afraid, I want to talk to Buff on something now. As much as you and Dalton made me afraid, watching the video where you were changing that fuel pump on the Suburban and trying to get it to run, whoa, was I cringing. All the fuels, you didn't have it back in the tank all the way, and the fuel scope. Now you got the wiring there. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, so you have to understand that when I was filming it, I wasn't near it. I was off. The camera was over here, and I was over here running the ignition. I didn't know that. And so when I watched the footage back later, I went, oh, crap. It's leaking everywhere. And so then I told myself, I should really cut that out. And then I went, nope, I'm leaving it in. Yeah, people need to know that this is realistic.
Then you went and did it again.
Yep. And then what's great is when it does actually fire off, you actually see the smoke and stuff pour out of that open exhaust.
Oh, I know.
Right
I know.
Where that gas is. It could have been a fireball.
I'm like,
but
holy crap.
At that point, I hadn't hit my monetization number. So I thought, well, if I catch this on fire or blow it up, I'm going to get views.
Yeah.
And that tank is still full of gas.
I bet it is. But it's funny when I went back and watched it, I'm like, the whole time, it's the vats. It's the vats.
Yep. And I kept telling myself that as well. And then I didn't have the ability to change any of that. So I said, well, let me try something else. Let me just bypass it, not realizing that it wasn't the fuel pump shutting off. It was the actual injector shutting off.
Yeah.
So, and now I know.
It was funny because I was hoping you would spray something down the throat of it and see.
And then it backfires into my face. Pow!
But that's how I always dealt with it. Is I'll put some gas down the throat to see if it's the security is messing me up on the modern vehicles, right? But you have to be careful because GM and Dodge are a little bit different. I don't even look at Ford, the new stuff, but like you said, GM will shut the injectors down.
Yep.
Dodge shuts the coils down.
Right.
So,
yeah, GM shuts those injectors.
Cylinders completely full of fuel.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and then wash it all out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I finally played with the VATS and with the Hall effect sensor and all that stuff, I jiggled the right wire at the right time and it worked. I was able to drive the truck down the road. And then I made the mistake of putting it in reverse and I lost it. And I was like, son of a. Yeah. So I knew exactly what it was at that point.
Of course, so right about then is when the cop comes along, right?
Well, the cop shop is a block away from me. So they're always coming through.
They're always there. Yeah.
And they're always looking for an excuse to come harass me. So it's like, all right, let's just get this thing off the road.
Yeah. That's good. Bo, you two have been entertaining me quite a bit lately. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's good. That's what we're here for. I got a lot more coming. I just need it to get out of the 20s.
Yeah.
I need it warmer.
I've got, oh my God. I tried to count it up the other day, just kind of roundabout figure. I've got like 80 hours of stuff, but I've been I only have the weekends. So every weekend I've had something come up. You know, I put that video out where I can't even remember what my last one was before Dalton's stuff. It was, me and Zeppy went somewhere or did something. I mean, I'm losing track of what I'm doing because I got so many things going on. But
well, that was awesome. You and Zepp on the road trip. That was a great video. I
Yeah,
enjoyed that. Just taking the transmissions and then you stop it in St. Louis there and hit in the spaghetti factory. It's funny because as soon as you were going in there, you didn't say the name yet. I said I know where they are.
yeah. I used to play music down there all the time, and what it was I basically grew up at Busch Stadium, the original
Yeah.
Busch Stadium. My mom, we'd go 2 to 3 times a month, and we'd pick different places to eat. We'd go to Show Me's. We'd go to, Spaghetti Factory. There was this another place downtown, down there on Laclede Landing that we went to too. That's no longer there. But then, as I got older, I'd go with my friends, and
Yep.
then when my bands started playing down there, we'd play at Boomers, Mississippi Nights. There was all these awesome places like clubs to play, and I was down there playing in clubs that were 21 and over, and I was 15, 16 years old. I knew all that stuff, but we always ate at the Spaghetti Factory.
Yep.
Um, there was another place down there we always went to too, and I can't remember the name of it, but I don't know. That part of St. Louis is awesome. Like I mentioned in the video, there used to be a barge McDonald's. There was
Yeah.
one of the 2 floating
That's
McDonald's in the world, and one of them was in St. Louis. And that's back when hamburgers were what, 25 cents,
Yep.
something like that.
You sure? Well, that's the unreal part right for me right now is how much you pay for fast food. It's $15 for a meal almost up here, and
Yeah,
it's like why would I pay that? I'd rather just go to the restaurant and get a real meal at that
yeah.
point.
If you're in a hurry, you're like, I can just run through here real quick. Like I should have like a speedy account at Casey's because I run in there and get popcorn chicken or something just to tide me over. And Casey's and Dollar Generals in this area are like what, 4 miles apart, I think.
Yeah.
We need a Buc-ee's is what we need. I'm tired of these damn.
We were talking about Buc-ee's earlier here at work, and I'm like, why am I not in Texas right now? Just living in Buc-ee's dream,
Well, the food's a little different between Canada and the States. So I know that much. Like, and just the restaurants we have. There's the ones that are international. There's the McDonald's and the Dairy Queens and Burger Kings and stuff like that. But like we don't have the In-N-Outs. We don't have the Sonics. We don't have any. Just got Carl's Jr. up here not that long ago. So, but I find that it's $15 for a meal even there, and they're not even that fast anymore.
Yeah, Dan and Stuckies. We had 2 of them around here, famous for the pecan logs, man. They were like this pecan, disgusting pecan logs, but they were the most popular thing they sold.
Well, I think Dalton's ears must have been burning.
Yeah.
Holy.
Why is he a mod? Is that smart?
I thought I made him a mod.
He is a mod.
Yeah,
he's saying, why am I a mod? And
I don't know.
I have to agree.
Your damn name on there.
You made me a mod too. I'm like, I don't know how to moderate.
Everyone's banned.
Something happens and I run off. I don't know, why the hell are you a mod?
We're all banned now.
Well, if you don't. He's banning the guy that's putting it on.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe I shouldn't make him a mod.
That's what I'm saying. You've seen how he works, man. You got to know. It's some sketchy stuff.
Well, you guys had mentioned it before, but until you were putting that transfer case in, and I'm watching you it's like, oh boy. And those transfer cases are not light.
No.
It's not like the new ones that are made out of the magnesium alloy, right? Those suckers are cast steel, and they were freaking heavy. Or cast iron, sorry, but they were freaking heavy, those things.
That's actually a good one there. That's it. That's why
Missouri
I made
on demand. Yep.
Yeah. Misery or Missouri?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it
Misery.
could be
Yes.
misery because I never heard. We were just working on that truck, and all of a sudden, it sounded like there was an F-22 outside the door. I thought, are we getting bombed? What the hell's going on?
So just north of there, they've got B2s.
Right. That's what he was saying. It was like right there. I was like,
Yep.
good Lord.
Is that Whiteman? I think that's Whiteman. I don't remember now.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Whoa.
10 quarts.
Good thing he makes that big YouTube money. Holy crap.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
He doesn't even have to go to work anymore. He makes so much YouTube money.
I don't even want to see that because I have to. It's going to cost me $200 to fill that damn that rear end in that thing. And I didn't really. I got to thinking about it. I was like, "Oh, this is all cheap," and then I'm like, "Oh, that crap is like $70 a gallon, and I need like 3 or 4."
Well, I got a bit of a sticker shock when I went to fill the transfer case in my Charger. It was $50 a quart.
Oh my God.
I said, what the heck is this stuff made out of?
Got that gold diamond lining in it with Teflon.
Oh, I don't know what was in it. But
it's that Goldschlager oil.
Used vegetable oil.
Well, I'll go try it, see if I can find it cheaper on Amazon. It was cheaper, but not by much. It's like maybe $35 a quart or something like that. I was like, oh boy, that's not. That's
he's probably right. They probably go out to that thing that the restaurants dump all the crap in at the end of the night. They probably just buy all that up and then reserve it as engine oil because it's why does my car smell like chicken grease? I don't know. Maybe it's burning oil.
Well, that was the fun thing back when was that the 2000s when everyone they go get the used cooking oil from the fast food places and they'd start making diesel fuel out of it, and they'd drive around and it'd smell like a French fry cooker all the way through town, right?
It's probably just llama spit.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much llama pee that's in the DEF, so yeah.
Friction adders. The potato particulates are friction adders.
Yeah.
It balances out the mix to give you more consistency.
There you go.
We could really sell this.
We always complain about
oil prices got you down. Well, here you go.
Yeah. We just solved it, boys.
Everybody always complains about the smell of, your 75 or 80 weight comes out of your rear end, how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't smelled nothing till you smell it come out of a semi rear end, especially when it's been burnt.
When it's been burnt and cooked too, yeah.
I threw away my clothes that I was wearing yesterday. It completely covered me. It got through. Luckily it didn't get all my overalls or nothing, but good Lord, that was the worst. Just pulling the bolts out of the center section. It was like, Jesus. I mean, it's pretty bad. I can't wait to see what else happens. I'll get that fixed and I'll take off down the road, and then, the front one will go out. And then I'll be like, well, why didn't I just get better gear ratio while I was at it? But
I don't know, but
they told me that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I think the 4 of you or the 3 of you need to do a collab, Buff, Irish, and Dalton.
Hey, I'm saying if Irish heads back, you just got to give me the date. And if Dalton will have me back, I'll definitely show up. Because I really want to be there when he does the snagging wagon. That thing is going to be awesome. 454 powered, 4-wheel drive.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Was that there when you went there, Buff? Was it there? the video stuff don't do it justice. You got to see it in person.
Jeez.
It's plus I've seen how the transmission was up in there and how that's a wow.
Yeah, he definitely was forcing that Roadrunner to get out of there so that he could get on that van. And then now this pickup, well, he had the Dodge truck, and then this pickup shows up. And of course, then he had to build his snow machine and get it going. And I found a few snow machines. I was thinking real hard about it until I looked at my work schedule and realized there's no way I'm making it to Wisconsin and back in 2 days. So
I've got too much stuff littered in my yard to go pick up new stuff. This never stopped me before, but
I'm fine getting a crappy snow machine, getting it to Wisconsin, destroying it and leaving it there and just driving home. But I couldn't do it in 2 days.
You'd be like our friends even farther north of me then. When I went up to Callowit and stuff like that, that's literally what they do. They take their snow machine or skidoo, whatever you want to call it, and they'll cruise around until it gets too warm and they just park it. Wherever it stops, that's where it stops. Or they run out of gas, they just leave it, walk away. And that includes on the ice. So yep. I don't know how many of those things are in the water right now.
Yep. Coming from Alaska, if it's an expensive sled, then they go in and they try to rescue it. But most of the time they're garbage. And so they just literally, hey, buddy, they jump on theirs and they ride out and they're done. And they just leave
that's right. You've seen it too, right? Being up far north. But
they do the same with cars. They will take a car, whatever it is, and they'll rally it in the backwoods of Alaska on public land. And when they're just done with it, that's where it sits. And there are cars from the 50s and 60s and all the way up, just parked out in the woods. Yep. They're garbage. They're worse than the Holy Goat.
Oh, they're bad. They're bad. Yeah, they're bad. Well, Callowit's a little different because there's nothing. It's just tundra. There's nothing.
Just wide open.
It's just wide open, man. And
so you can look back and still see your snow machine 20 miles away.
Yeah. If the roads even went that far, yeah. But the first time I was
wants to do the whole drive shock. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
What's that going to be? What, like 10 feet long?
You know what? He's gonna want some help. I think we're gonna call Kevin. Let's do an Irish buff pole barn.
There you
Kevin.
Go. I would watch that.
You see monkeys and footballs. That's what's going to happen.
You got to get more green straps, though. You got to get to Harbor Freight, get more of those green straps. You're going to do that.
I'm just saying, Irish has access to the good straps. We should probably use a good strap.
Yeah, no, that green strap saved his life.
I have the same exact straps that he has.
I am a paramedic, but not in Missouri, so I can't help you. I'm just going to have to let you die right where you're at.
I was sad. You had to cut that thing with his famous scissors.
I was sad about it.
I was like, man, that just sucks. You should have done like a burial in the backyard with taps playing or something.
I need no other straps.
I mean, I've got those really good semi straps. I've got.
That's what I'm talking about.
Job, but
yeah.
We had to move enough of his floor to get the green one out. Could you imagine one of them big ones?
Yep.
It was kind of funny though.
At least it was concrete floor.
He had said something. This thing feels like it's got a little bit of a bind on it, and then like, oh, the damn ratchet head was sticking into the floor.
Yep, Princess Auto is definitely our Harbor Freight. No doubt about that.
Cool.
I drove by there yesterday. Was it yesterday, the day before, and it took everything I had not to pop in there. I can't. It's like if you go by a Harbor Freight, you got to pull in.
Oh, there's a big magnet there or something just draws your vehicle in. I don't know what it is.
But it's not one of their magnets because their magnets aren't strong enough. Oh man.
Toe
Oh
rig.
boy.
But yeah, how'd you
Oh,
like
he's
that
in it.
concrete, Irish? That was kind of fun, wasn't it?
That was funny. Yeah, he's not used to
You
it.
know what? I never hurt so bad the next day in my life. I was just fine with soft ground with a few rocks.
I can tell
Well,
you that I
My
love
knee
having
was
a
killing me.
creeper, but just for speediness, sometimes I'll forego the creeper and just slide under maybe cardboard, maybe not, and just work under the car on the concrete. But oh my God, it hurts so bad the next day.
No,
But you see, the key is to have heated concrete floors like I have in my garage.
Oh yeah,
Then you're good.
listen
that's
to you,
high dollar.
fancy pants.
Nah,
Are you serious? Banned. You're out.
Yeah.
you are ejected from this.
You were complaining about the lift last time. I'm old, man. I don't want that.
Yeah, I'd love to have a lift. My
Yeah,
thing
me
was
too.
is I got done, and of course we didn't hardly clean up anything. So he had some kitty litter there. We got most of that, but that freaking gear oil, that's like just turned it into mush. So I'm crawling around with one of my jackets on, and I'm crawling around on it. I get home and I'm walking in the house carrying like this, and Amber's like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Yeah, it smells like old gear oil." So yeah, thank God we got a new wash machine. I just
On your floor, maple syrup.
That's what it looked like, was maple syrup.
So when you go out to your garage, does it just smell all maple syrupy when you go out there? It smells like warm pancakes. Yep.
Yeah.
You just walk into your garage every day, and instead of motor oil and gas, you smell pancakes. That's just got to be good.
I can walk out barefooted, walk around.
I can. Yeah, I totally can. Middle of winter, I can go out barefoot in the garage.
Right there, man.
If you turn it up, can you make the pancakes on the floor?
No, it doesn't go that hot.
Oh, okay.
But it does have pretty good heat recovery. I'll tell you that. You open that door and close it, it comes back, that radiant heat from the floor, it's right back to temperature pretty quick.
Wow.
Yeah, once you have that, it's pretty hard to go without it.
I don't know. I'm so used to crawling around out here that I think it was just a change of pace for me, because boy, my knee hurt like hell when I got up the next morning. We got to a hotel that night and we slept for a while, and then we, getting ready to go through St. Louis and all that. And I couldn't hardly walk. My knee was hurting so bad. It might have been the fact that, the stress of having a 500-pound transfer case about to fall on your head half the time.
Yep. The lift is where the money is. Yep. I agree.
Well, I put that 2-post in my buddy's garage, and that was I was unloading it. I kind of cut some of it out, but I left some of it in. I was unloading the lift off the trailer. I was using the mini excavator.
Yep.
I might have went over, I might have rotated a little too far. I was like, there's that. It didn't handle the weight very well from the side. Let's just put it that way. Myself.
One of the other things I can tell you that, I always wondered about Kansas City Chief fans. I was right. Kansas City had won in Kansas City. Me and Dalton, JD, and Zeppy went to have dinner, and the game was over, and a bunch of Kansas City fans are walking in. They're all hooting and hollering. This guy comes up, "Yeah, buddy, what's up?" and slaps me right on the ass. Didn't know who he was. Didn't know anything. I'm like, yep, I always knew that. He just slapped me in the ass. He goes, "You serious?" I said, "Yeah." He just got way down there too. And yeah.
Left cheek or right cheek, Jay?
See, I don't watch the football for a reason, so there you go.
Yeah. Yep. I almost bought. Speaking of lifts, there was a guy that had a. What the hell's the name of it? Something boy, poor man's lift or something like that. It's an outdoor lift,
Yeah.
and it, it was an old school version of the 4-poster, and $1,500. And I didn't have the money. I was like, damn, and it worked. I was like, that'd have been great out here.
Well, I shared a shop with all Buff. So here's a little knowledge for you. I'm a Pontiac guy at heart, and I've gone to the Mopars just because they don't make Pontiacs anymore. But
Right.
I shared a shop, and we had nothing but Pontiacs, and we had I still know where these cars are. A 71 455 HO Trans Am with the 4-speed, and
Nice.
you can catch a glimpse of it on one of my shorts, and then the 76 455 with the 4-speed in it, and I think a 68 was out there. The 69 was out there. There's a 69 out there. But so we all had our cars, and we were working on in the shop, and we all three of us shared this bay. But we had one of those old style lifts that was in the ground.
Mm-hmm. The old 1-poster.
Yeah, and it didn't work. So we started looking at it, and because what happened is the airline to the lift had rotted out in the floor. So it was not our shop or anything like that, but we wanted to use this thing. So what we ended up doing is we ended up tapping a fitting, putting a fitting in the top of it, and putting an air chuck in there, so that we'll put the air down on the piston, it would raise the lift up, and then we just got a big pole and we stuck it under it for safety. And that was we still ended up using it.
It'll be fine.
We're great. And you want to talk about sketch? Well, we took the cherry picker and we built an extension on it so we could pull the lift out to redo all the seals and all that. Those things are heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we ended up having to, I think 2 of us stand on the back of it, and it's still trying to tip the lift over.
Wow.
We got it out. We got it fixed. We got it working.
I do
whatever
know,
it takes, right?
Yeah.
I do know where one of them old tip lifts are, where they had them at car dealers and stuff. You pull the car up on it, and then it goes so far and it tips forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know where one of them's at too.
Oh, really?
But, as long as my insurance guy didn't see that, life
we're
insurance,
not allowed
he's
to.
like, nope.
We're not allowed to have open pits up here anymore.
People like to fall in them.
No. Someone decided that was a good place to bunker down in and have a shootout with the police, and they couldn't get them out.
That's a great idea. No. I can imagine that, all it takes is one idiot,
Yep. But yeah, he barricaded himself in the city you're not allowed them. You might be able to still build them out in the country here, but in the city they won't allow anyone to have an open pit in their garage anymore for oil servicing, really, because you can barricade yourself in there too easily.
That's
it doesn't happen not something that happens much around here, but every now and then you get someone that just does something crazy.
This is America. We can't lose our pits to, any of that.
Well, you got to remember
that take my pit of my cold dead hand.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember our prime minister banned Black Rifle coffee because it sounded like an assault weapon.
Just assaults your colon. That's all it does.
But it's just they went through anything when they tried to put the gun laws in. They're like, oh, that sounds like it's an assault weapon. So Black Rifle, oh, that sounds like an assault weapon. They didn't even look at the coffee part, right? So all of a sudden we couldn't have Black Rifle coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Alberta. Yeah. Just south of Calgary. Huh. And for the American friends, that's just above Montana, folks.
You're in North Montana.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only 3 hours from the border, not even, like 2.5.
Yep. I've been there several times actually.
Oh, did you go through Sweetgrass or did you go through Waterton or?
I remember going through Calgary. That's the main
Okay.
thing I remember.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And then straight down into Montana.
Yeah. You probably went through the Sweetgrass crossing then.
And I've also jogged over to North Dakota and done that one a couple times. There was one I went through called Portal, North Dakota. That was the
Okay.
name of it. Yeah.
Interesting. When we took the trip in the Mustang to go down to Arkansas and do the Volvo build, that was I got to go through quite a few of the states. Like we did Montana, did Wyoming, we did Kansas, we did Arkansas, Missouri. Like we had a great trip. South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got to hit all sorts of the states. It was awesome.
Hmm.
And yeah, you get a lot of when we're going down in that classic. We got a lot of every time we stop for gas, which was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Had someone come up and talk to you. It was a fun
Did you
trip.
see the Jamaican bobsled team?
I did.
I love it.
Yeah, no, I was here when they put everything in, like for the '88 Olympics. I was in the area. Yeah, yeah, it's cheaper out here in Alberta for the smokes and gas, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I've hit deer with things, and I seen something on TikTok the other day. A guy hit a moose.
Yeah, you don't want to hit those.
No,
No.
that was a big thing in Alaska too. Is you whack one of those, and the first thing they say is, "Did the person survive?" Because the car
Yeah,
isn't going to survive, but did the
yeah.
person survive? Because those things, you knock them out at the knees, and they go right into your car.
They go into the car, yeah, because they're so dang tall.
And
You
there's
just take
over a
the legs
thousand
out.
pounds of moose coming at you.
Yeah,
Anybody
yeah.
could whack a deer and knock it off the road, but
Oh, I've hit a couple and ran over one.
yep.
Like I had one where someone hit the deer before me. It was early in the morning and it was still dark, and I caught a flash of white in front of me before my truck went over top of it, and then my truck got very loud because it ripped the exhaust out of my truck, and so I went to get the truck fixed, and the mechanic says, and I washed it beforehand. The mechanic comes out, can you please go wash the underside of your truck again?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, man, I'll go wash it again.
I had somebody hit one, head on with me, and they hit one, and it flew over and basically went into my windshield.
Oh boy,
But I've
I seen
also
one go.
hit one at doing about 100 mile an hour. It hit a 8-point buck, about 140,
Wow.
150 pounds. Just comes right through my windshield. My buddy, he's like screams, deer. And by that time, bam, hoof come through the windshield. His head was like right there. It's pretty bad. That was a
I
little
seen
fox body. It tore the hell out of it.
I seen what happens when a fox body hits a deer at speed. Because I was in a '79 Ford F-150, which had a 428 in it because we had swapped the engine out, and that thing was, from a standstill, it would haul because it had the short gears in it, and so the guy in the fox body was racing us. We got out on the highway, and I just put it down, and that deer comes out in front of me. I'm like, oh crap! In the last minute, it goes into his lane, and, and my little brother was with me, and it's like when he hit that deer, it turned in from Bambi and it turned into Rudolph because that sucker launched about 20 feet in the air. The front of the Mustang goes diving, and the sparks are flying everywhere. And so I picked up the guy in the Mustang. He was losing anyways, but I picked him up. Hey, you need to ride into town?
Yeah, I had to change the whole front doghouse on my Mustang.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Completely destroyed it. It was bad.
Yeah.
Of course, at 100 mile an hour or so. Cop said, "How fast were you going?" 55.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is the deer 75 yards over there?
Yeah.
Well,
You know?
when I hit the one with the hybrid car, the car is all aluminum, so it just peeled it like a tin can, but it
Yep.
cut the deer in half. I'd never seen it. Like I was just back roads going home, not doing anything crazy, but the deer jumped out of the field. This is where the road dropped down and the field's still up here. And this deer jumps out of the field down into the road. Car catches it just right, peels the whole car open like a can, and
Yep.
we went and found the deer, and it was literally in two pieces. I was like, how did that
Gross.
happen? Yeah, it was crazy.
I've heard of guys on motorcycles doing that, splitting one in half.
I was so close to one on my motorcycle that I felt like the tail was right here. And that was enough for me to go, all right, we're going to slow down on this road.
I had
We
one
got a lot.
slide under between my wheel and my frame.
Oh, man.
Like a Bambi or something. Didn't hit it. It literally went right through it.
Wow. I hit one with a PT Cruiser.
It was a child that had enough room.
Yeah.
It was funny because it went right into the grill, and then the Cruiser just revved to the moon. Like, what's going on? And I shut it off, and I go check things out, and yeah, the front end of the car is destroyed, but I go fire this thing up, and it just revs right up again. And what happened is because there's so little clearance between the rad and the front of the engine, it snapped the dipstick mount off the intake, which cracked the intake and left a hole in the intake, so it was just sucking the air in.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh crap, how am I going to get home? I know. I had a plastic bag in the car, so I was like, all right, I guess I'll put that over the hole, and hopefully this will hold to get me home. And like, okay, we're good. And then like, oh no, that's not going to be good enough because it could suck that bag in there. Then I'm really hooped. So I just had some tape, so I just taped it up and like, okay, let's see if this works. Made it home.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's happening, Robert? Anything
What's
good?
going on? It's going.
Yeah, that's the way it is with me right now. Everything's going, but nothing's paying.
Yep.
Good thing I don't eat eggs. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. I think I'm going to make me a shorts or a TikTok or something of me showing off my refrigerator full of eggs. My big YouTube money status. I can afford eggs.
Yeah. Amber's sister has chickens galore.
They're literally shitting gold.
Right. I told her I sent her a video, and it was a lady. She goes to her chickens, and they're all like out in front of her, and she's like, "Now listen, ladies, you're getting a little slow on your production." She starts going off. Have you seen the price we could be making right now? She starts.
Yeah. Well, how about a pound of butter even? Like, holy jumpins.
Like, yeah, it's all ridiculous.
It's crazy, man.
The whole truck driving thing sucks because I'm getting hit the pump, and then also when I go to buy the stuff that I'm hauling.
Right.
Yep.
Like I get hit double.
Well, I guess when you're broke down on the side of the road, you just sell off what's in the trailer. Get some black market prices.
I can't remember what I had on. Oh, I had 25 or 30,000 pounds of Pepsi, the damn can holders, the plastic things that go around the lid, and 2 dies that were worth about $40,000 a piece.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why I had to sit there too and wait for somebody to come all the way from Chicago down to me about an hour and a half, 2 hours south to grab the trailer I was hitched to so he could get it there because they needed these dies. It's something that cuts the plastic or something like that. But Yeah, that's what I was carrying.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Sometimes the only thing I really carry, well, I I had 40,000 pounds of Fisher peanuts. You know, I had a buddy that was carrying Bud Light. That'd have been fun.
Yeah.
Randomly, our trailers got stolen. You know,
Really?
I don't know. I parked it at the Walmart. Next thing I know, it was empty.
yeah,
Did you see a black Trans Am speeding away from it?
yeah.
Eastbound and down. I don't understand.
I'm gonna go grab some
Classic
drink.
movie.
Oh,
I'm gonna
So
duck
what-
out. I gotta go back to work.
Well, I'm not far from that too. I got about 7 minutes, and then I'm gonna have to duck out myself. How you doing over there, Layden?
I'm doing.
Yeah, what have you been working on?
Oh, nothing really.
No,
Just been so busy and I had
you
time.
haven't touched the aspen yet.
Unfortunately, not. Been too
Okay.
cold. Busy and cold.
Well, it looked like you had some frost and some snow down there.
And we had a bunch of ice.
Ice, yeah.
that's what Big Mike was saying. You guys got ice like crazy down that way.
Yeah, it was. Our road was solid ice till this afternoon.
Man. Yeah, it was actually nice up here today. Like I was in, Blanche has heat, but I went 70 miles, no coat on, no nothing. Got out and just put a little flannel on when I was walking around the junkyard. I had a whole bunch of good footage, I thought, until I realized I left the lens cap on my fancy new camera.
Oh no!
So there's like a black screen of
geez.
me just yakking about this huge semi junkyard.
Oh no, that sucks, man. That would have been good footage too.
Yeah, I bought a new camera, so, and you can tell it in that video with the transmission.
Yep.
When I'm sitting in my garage, that's my new camera.
Oh,
But the rest of it was done with my GoPro, one of
okay.
my GoPros, and you can tell the difference.
Oh yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
huge difference in the quality. And that camera is set to 1080, not 4K.
Yeah.
So
Well,
4K is even worse.
Do you use a mic as well?
Yeah, I
for
got
that camera?
I bought the same exact setup that Dalton has and Kevin Brown.
Oh, okay.
Dalton got his from Kevin, and I got mine from Dalton. Matter of fact, I called him, or he called me, and I said, "All right, how do I set this damn thing up?" So he goes, "I don't know. I'll tell you how I got it." So he starts going through it. We're on the phone and on the phone, doing his camera stuff. But it's a hell of an investment, money wise.
Yep.
But wow, if you're really serious about making like really clear stuff, I mean, you don't have to have it, but I just seen the quality difference right away, and I was like, "Oh,
Those are
holy
two things
cow.
that are definitely on my list. Is I'd like a good camera and a good mic.
I got a cheap mic. The mic was only like $15.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I can go grab and show. It's a Panasonic Lumix G85 is what I got,
Okay.
and it's got the wide angle lens on it. I bought mine used on eBay. I did good, but a new one, the whole pack and everything that comes with it, it's like $900.
Oh, wow.
I didn't pay that for it. It was used.
I do everything with this still.
Yeah, I still do. Use my phone. I'll use my GoPros for driving, but a lot of this stuff anymore, like I'm doing this truck, it's on a stand. I'm not going to put my expensive camera underneath the damn semi,
Right. Yeah.
So I'll just show as much as I can, and I'll get down in there and explain what I'm doing, and then I put the thing back. Just a quick,
Yeah.
But I learned with Blanche, I learned that it's best to have 2 cameras going at all times or something like that. Because I lost the entire cam break-in that when I first started that 400 that's in that car. All I had was a little bit of footage from the roof line pointing down at the engine. There's nothing from the side where I'm actually talking into the camera that we're doing this, and then I go do it. Doing this, it lost it all. The damn GoPro lost it all. So that's why there's no video on it.
There's a certain other channel where I watched one of their recent videos, one of the bigger ones, where you could see he had a bit of a camera malfunction because it was all blurry from the side. And
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so I get it. Like, and I'd love to have 2 cameras going sometimes, but man, I have a hard enough time with one.
Yeah, well, with this camera, this Lumix, it hasn't messed with me once, other than my own being an idiot and not taking the damn lens cap off.
Yeah.
Which makes it even stupider is it has a 4K viewfinder right on it that shows you that it's showing black.
Yeah.
I was like, yep. I'm going to put it in the video too. I'll be like, yep, I did that.
Well, we've all had those moments, no doubt about it.
Yeah. But now my GoPros have been messing up. They get hot, they shut off, and I just got sick of it. Be in the middle of something, and it just shut off.
Well, my iPhone does something weird with the sound sometimes. It when you first start recording, I don't know what it is, but it's really quiet.
Yeah.
And then it ramps the volume up. And so when I'm editing, I have to go boost the volume way up if I can even salvage it. And then it starts blasting. So then I have to cut the video up and drop the volume on the next section and try to blend it all together and try to even out all the sound. But it's a pain in the butt. But I mean,
this camera also has an LED, or it has an EQ meter, so you can see, and it'll bring it up to a certain spot, and it'll compress it to that spot, just like if you're doing sound and I'll go in on my Premiere Pro, and I've got this thing called it's basically a noise gate. Takes out any background frequencies and noise. And, oh man, it works on the GoPros too, but that cardioid microphone that I got for that thing it's ridiculous.
Awesome. Well, I'm with Fox, guys. I'm gonna have to head out.
Yeah, me too.
I'd like to thank you for having me on again. That's awesome. Always a good time. So
yeah, I got to go in and do some editing.
Yeah, I got to do some filming.
Yeah, I'm going to finish up that truck tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get the rest of that 304 done, and I'll stick a video out on that.
Nice.
So,
looking forward to it.
Not putting it in the car yet, because I'm going to do a bunch of stuff to that car before I put that motor back down in there.
Yeah, right on. Right.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everyone.
I'm out of here. Robert, thanks for stopping by.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm going to go edit. It's like all I do now.
Yeah.
See you, man.